Welcome to eXplore, the real reality show. Take a front row seat and join us as we explore the more interesting destinations of Central New York with local families and friends. Join us as we show off our Central New York lifestyle and maybe even go behind the scenes of local industries and attractions. Later, we'll get some outdoor advice from our guide in the camping corner, and we'll even take a look at some interesting facts along the way.
This week, eXplore returns to our colorful reenactors at Fort Stanwix, an insider's look at how history was made. And we also take an insider's look at the colorful creators at Golden Artist Colors, the artist paint manufacturer in New Berlin.
All this week on eXplore. Brought to you by your local Ford dealer and by Faxon St. Luke's Healthcare.
This week, eXplore takes us behind the scenes of Golden Artist Colors.
So the process is that we mix all the ingredients together just as you would be mixing a cake mix in a mixer. He's getting ready to add some pigment. It's probably one of our pastes and a little titanium white that he's adding to it. So this is the mixing process, which is typically the first part of paint making. You'll have to mix the batch together. For safety, to make sure he doesn't breathe anything in, he's wearing the respirator. He's watching his weight on the scale to make sure he extracts the right amount for the formula. It's a National Red Light Day. And then we come through and we mill the product, which really helps for all the ingredients to mesh together. It's a 3-roll mill process, so it's just forcing those chemicals and ingredients to work nicely together.
What it does, it tends to dry up on the ends. So you gotta throw them back to get the chunks out of it.
After we get through the milling process, we'll put it through a versator, which you'll see later, and that helps us take all the air out because you don't want too much air in your product. You know, like those cereal boxes when you open them up and it was all air and not very much cereal. This is the staging area as they fill this product line. We actually have a person just responsible for picking it up and putting it on the shelves. So they'll fill this up, it'll move to where it needs to go in our warehouse, and then they'll move on to the next product. We're going to be filling a cadmium yellow primrose, and you see that's a hand-painted swatch. We have a whole nother team that hand paints, again, for the artist to be able to see the opacity, to be able to see what the exact color will look like.
Yeah, do you remember how many charts we paint in a year?
It's well over 10,000. The founder, Sam Golden, and he was a paint chemist, paint formulator down in New York City, mostly working in oils. And so he had many relationships with the artists. He moved up here to retire. We have a picture upstairs of their retirement home. Bought the property, was going to be retired, have a couple of cows. And then many of his artist friends said, "Hey Sam, can you make me some paint? And I want to try the new waterborne paints." And so he started formulating and playing. And meanwhile, Mark Golden was in college. And when he was graduating from college, Sam said, "Hey Mark, you want to make paint with me?" And he said, "I'll give it a shot." So they had a barn they made paint out of. Sam would make it. Mark would take it down to New York City, work with the artists, and say, "Just try it. If you don't like it, you know, I'll do something else. Tell me what you don't like and I'll keep fixing it." She's putting together what we call our Just Paint bags. We have a working artist program which provides lectures, demos, and workshops to artists at retail stores if they have the space. We'll send an artist out there, they'll give an educational overview of acrylics, specifically our acrylics, and really educate them. If they stay for the 2-hour lecture demo, when they're finished they give us a little survey and they get this great Just Paint bag to take home and to explore a little bit with golden color, gels, the different viscosities of our paints, both fluids and heavy bodies. So this was a great project to create this spinning table. One of our lean projects, working with a group of people to say, how can we make sets and kits a little bit quicker and easier, and the spinning table was the answer. Really got started grassroots, working closely with the artists, understanding what they did or didn't like about the product, and then tweaking it a little bit to where we are today.
Don't go away. eXplore will be right back.
Check out the great offers on America's undisputed leader, Ford F-Series, during Ford's year-end event. F-150 offers a luxurious car-like interior built on the strongest frame in its class. Maybe that's why there are more F-Series on the road with 250,000 miles than any other brand. Get it started in a truck that's built Ford tough. Now lease an 07 F-150 XLT Super Cab 4x4 with tow and go package for just $279 a month during Ford's year-end event.
Life doesn't always go as planned. Every day, someone is diagnosed with cancer. The Regional Cancer Center at Faxton St. Luke's Healthcare is caring for the people fighting it. Together, we can help you through your diagnosis and treatment, keeping you informed every step of the way. Many of our technologies surpass those found at large university hospitals. It's the kind of care you want someone you love to receive. We're helping people become healthy again and saving lives.
Now, eXplore returns to the Revolutionary War era and to Fort Stanwix, where the Stars and Stripes were first flown. Join us as we chat with Native Americans on both sides of the conflicts, speak with the local rope maker, and the kids even teach us some new old games.
I guess I'm making a scarf.
a fellow worker at my job had been involved in reenacting for maybe 2 years, and I heard him mention it offhandedly, and one day I started asking him about it, and when I learned what it was about, it sounded interesting to me, so he invited me to come along dressed in my modern clothing just to observe what reenacting was about, and I found it quite interesting. So he arranged for me to go to a reenactment where the reenactors lent me a full set of clothing, and I was able to completely immerse myself in it, and I had a wonderful time and met a lot of very nice people, and I decided I wanted to get involved. So I started out by getting a minimal amount of clothing and got involved, and I've loved it ever since. I have to say, I've never met a person that I didn't like. I've met a lot of characters, but never met a person I didn't like in reenacting. And for me, the most rewarding would be having more of an appreciation of what it took to establish our country than I ever knew before.
You guys didn't make that material, did you?
No, we actually would trade for the material, but the way that you notice they're very short, okay, that's the idea is they're made out of trade wool because it's a lot easier than making them out of leather, but they're to protect us when we're running through the woods. In the winter, underneath, I'm actually wearing European stockings, and they would put these on underneath in the winter to get a little bit more warmth. Underneath that, I just have a breech clout, and then the trade shirt, and then, you know, belt. This is a neck knife, which is kind of like the native version of a pocket knife. You notice things are worn kind of high up on the body compared to the Europeans. They've got nice long things. See, these guys are not good in the woods. They try running through the woods with all the hangy stuff, they're gonna get tangled up. So you want to have things higher and tighter, because when you're running in the wilderness, okay, it's gonna leave you more freedom for movement. It's gonna lend itself to speed and stealth. Oh, the headdress is actually, there's several pieces in it. One of them is actually hair fob that's finger woven, that's woven into the braid. And then over the top of that is a thing called a roach. And we considered it very proper to decorate the one spot of hair. You notice everything's shaved, but about a circle, which is about the size of the roach.
Oh yeah, certainly. In line. Yeah, Justin is a no-gunner. He leaves it home so it don't get dirty. Then you don't have to clean it.
I'm here representing the Seneca Mohawk War Party out of the French Indian War. There's 7 nations out of Quebec City, Montreal, Quebec, fighting with the French. During the Revolutionary War, I fought on the British side. So we put the war paint on to show how fierce we are and make people think we're scared, and, you know, to make sure that they're not going to mess with our families or mess with anything on or against our sides of our culture and our ways that we lived. And I'm picking an angry face because I have so much anger inside my blood that I want to draw it out to people, and people will be like, he's scary, don't mess with him. This is a clip-on, so you can take it off and on anytime you go to bed, or you can take it off when you go to work or something, so it's easy to put it back on. So.
We'll be right back.
Ford Fusion, Smart Money Magazine's best new car value. Check it out during Ford's year-end event. With Fusion's class-exclusive all-wheel drive, a premium navigation system, standard front side impact airbags, great mileage, and more, you'll know why the smart money is on Ford Fusion. Now get into a Ford Fusion for just $199 a month. Just $199 a month during Ford's year-end event.
Want to be an Explore family? Just check us out on the net at explore-tv.net and click on the Be an Explore Family button. Give us a daytime phone number so our eXplore producer can match your family to the perfect eXplore destination. It's a great way to explore our own part of Central New York and get treated like a star. Be an eXplore family just by clicking on the net at explore-tv.net and click on the Be an eXplore Family button.
Let's explore.
I'm well on my way to recovery.
Sometimes you need help getting back on your feet. Sometimes you need help just getting back to your life.
We set goals.
The Regional Rehabilitation Center at Faxton St. Luke's Healthcare provides the comprehensive, personalized rehabilitation care that you need to recover.
And be myself again.
We're back.
Come on in, I'll show you the guardhouse. All visitors to the fort would report initially to the guardhouse, to the officer of the day, which would be myself, at which point we determine your reason for being here. If you had a legitimate military reason for being here, you'd go about your business. If you didn't, you'd stay here until we could determine what your reason was for being here, at which point you'd be allowed to go throughout the fort, probably with a military escort. If we had prisoners that needed to be detained, they'd also be detained here in the guardhouse, where we have 2 sets of manacles. Prisoners that were brought into the fort, usually soldiers from the garrison, would be maintained in shackles here, or if some type of punishment fatigue duty was assigned, they'd be shackled with this, with the stump, and be required to perform their fatigue duty outside, pulling the stump, which weighs about 30 or 40 pounds. If the punishment was more severe at the end of the day during inspection, they would actually be brought out for public discipline, at which time they may receive a lashing, which would be a minimum of 39 lashes with a cat o' nine tails. So discipline was rather harsh, very severe. Once the men had finished their 24-hour rotation of guard duty, they'd go back to their respective barracks, such as Bleecker, DeWitt, or Tybalt. The officer of the day would stay over here. Of course, it is a rather cramped area, so we'd have curtains up for privacy. The enlisted men on the other side. The guards would be on duty for 24 hours, with 2 hours outside, 4 hours in, 2 hours back outside. Prisoners would be detained in the corner until we could determine what type of punishment, formal punishment, they would have.
The persona that I am is a militiaman. That's a person that would be called out of their regular life to fight in times of need, and then go back to their personal life. My persona is that I'm just a townsman, and I like to say my job is I'm a rope maker. Well, it is quite involved to make rope. One has to first grow the plant to a usable height, then it has to be harvested and dried, then it has to be put in water for a period of time to rot the green vegetation off the white fibers. Then it has to be dried again, and then you have to break the green vegetation off the fibers and leave the fibers behind, and then it has to be carded. It has to be stretched out to get all the fibers in line with one another. And then after that, the fibers are separated and spun into strands and then built up to rope, depending on what size rope you want. So it is quite an involved process.
What was the natural material back then?
Hemp. People would grow hemp. Some people would grow flax too for making rope, but hemp was by far more desirable. As a side point, it's not the hemp that everybody knows today. It was a different genus of hemp that was more for industrial use than what is known for currently. I'm studying to be a master rope maker.
I've been in reenacting for about 10 years. You had asked me about, my family. I started with my children were little, about, I think my son was in about 3rd grade, oh my. About 3rd grade when we started. And I was a single mom reenacting with my children, and it's a very good hobby to get into. I think for some women it may be a little intimidating because it seems at first to be more of a male hobby, but it really isn't. Once you get in and get involved, you find there's a lot of women involved, and it's very family oriented.
Are you a officer's wife right now?
No.
Camp follower?
More of a camp follower, you know, with someone in the company, so that I would be just helping the company, doing the cooking and possibly helping with the laundry, sewing, that sort of thing. You would be helping with obviously any first aid in the battle, just kind of we also do mollying at the battles. We often, you know, take water out behind the tubes so that we can give our men, you know, drinks.
The women and children for both the American Army and the British Army served as truly the first support arm of the military organizations. Hospital staffing and keeping the men's clothing and uniforms clean was not done by any actual military organization.
The community that we have here is just really, you have to see it to believe it. Really, you get to experience the 18th century, especially at night. I think you have to really be around after the fort closes to get the feel. Everybody stays in their clothes. It's not something that you turn off at 5 o'clock and go home. We're this way all weekend long. It's, as I said, it's kind of a subculture. You know these people for years. You're happy to see them. You visit. You exchange news. You play games. We all play games. 18th century games, of course. A lot of chess. Our leader, Captain Dan over there, likes to create new things. We play six-man chess, which is kind of created, and it gets pretty wild when everybody's, you know, to play six-man chess, you actually have to kind of gang up on somebody. I mean, there's too many people coming to, you know, so.
It is a lot of fun. I've never met a bad person in reenacting at all. Through all the years, I never met one person that I would consider bad. You have fun no matter what you do in this hobby, and I highly encourage anybody to do it.
Don't go away. eXplore will be right back.
Check out the great offers on America's undisputed leader, Ford F-Series, during Ford's year-end event. F-150 offers a luxurious car-like interior built on the strongest frame in its class. Maybe that's why there are more F-Series on the road with 250,000 miles than any other brand. Get it started in a truck that's built Ford tough. Now lease an 07 F-150 XLT Super Cab 4x4 with tow and go package for just $279 a month during Ford's year-end event.
To me, Cub Scouting, as a leader and as a parent, is helping boys discover the different aspects of life.
It's a way of becoming closer with your child.
The child learns how to interact with other children. They learn physical fitness. They learn citizenship and good morals.
It's a way of just bringing your family closer together.
Race to Cub Scouting. It's fun at every turn. Log on to joincubscouting.org.
Does your business need a business success tool, sales tool, network tool, advocate tool, lobby tool? Don't want to spend a lot of money on a lot of tools? Get the tool your business can depend on, the Mohawk Valley Chamber of Commerce, for business success. Have a favorite photo from your own Explore adventure? Send it in to us on the net at explore-tv.net, and we'll post it on our website. This week's Explore winner is Don Marino of Rome, New York. Each week, our producer will pick a favorite, and we'll send the winner a prize. If you've got the picture, send it in with your name and phone number to explore-tv.net.
Hi everyone, I'm Matt and this is the Camping Corner. Today we're going to talk about selecting the perfect campsite. You need to know about the 4 W's: wind, water, weather, and widowmakers. A lot of wind, you're going to be uncomfortable and you're going to increase your risk of hypothermia. So I've picked a place that's sheltered from the wind. 2, water, which is something you need for cooking and drinking, is a necessity, not only in the backcountry, but also in the front country. 3, weather. Anything from avalanches to flash floods, tornadoes, lightning storms, or any type of natural event that can cause harm to you. These are all things that you need to be careful of while selecting a campsite. And number 4, one of the most dangerous things, widowmakers, is simply anything that's above you that could fall onto your tent while you're sleeping or just in camp and harm you or one of your camp members. Whether it's a rock, tree branch, or a dead tree. Now that you know the 4 W's about finding a safe site, I'm Matt, this is the Camping Corner, and it's your turn to explore.
Well, that does it for this week. On behalf of the crew, thanks for watching Explore, the real reality show. Please join us next week as we